The National Broadcasting Company presents the National Football League. Today from Cleveland Stadium, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy truck. And by Allstate, for home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
It is a sellout crowd here at Cleveland Stadium. 80,000 have turned out for one of the NFL's heated rivalries, and this game has been a sellout since early July, and they've come out on a partly cloudy 74-degree day. The condition of the field is questionable. It could get even worse. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Joe Namath, and this a matchup of two teams that come off surprising opening day performances. The Pittsburgh Steelers knocking off the San Francisco 49ers, the Cleveland Browns losing to the New Orleans Saints, and today could well be an adventure, Joe, because of the field conditions. Very sloppy out there. In fact, we saw during the course of the pregame warm-ups, Browns kicker Jeff Jager took a spill. Now, how will this all affect what takes place during the ball game this afternoon?
Well, I feel that the playing conditions are going to affect the running game. First of all, they're going to have a hard time getting good traction. So what both teams have done, they've gone to longer cleats. This is the normal cleat that they wear, and this is the longer cleat of the two. By using the longer cleat, they hope to get better traction.
Joe bringing some props for demonstration purposes. What about the quarterbacks? Who has the edge in this type situation, Mark Malone or Bernie Kosar?
Well, because of the field conditions, it's difficult for a quarterback to drop back, get set up on balance without slipping or sliding. Kosar uses a shotgun formation. This is a big advantage. Chuck Noll and the Pittsburgh Steelers don't believe in the shotgun formation. I think they're going to suffer because of that.
One other factor with the strike looming, it may well be the finale for both the Browns and the Steelers. So what effect will that have on the game today? And have there been distractions for the players during the course of the week?
You know, I've talked with players on both sides, Cleveland and Pittsburgh, and most of them said, no, there aren't any distractions. But I don't buy that. You know, every other question they get asked is about the strike, so they can't have 100% concentration on this game. They're concerned with the strike.
And there is 55-year-old Chuck Noll, the head coach of the Steelers, born here in Cleveland. In fact, started his NFL career with the Browns back in 1953. On the other hand, Cleveland Browns head coach Marty Schottenheimer is from Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania. Grew up as a Steelers fan and spent 6 weeks as a player with the Steelers in training camp back in 71. In fact, Chuck Noll was coaching the linebackers at the time. This kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. The Steelers won the toss. They will receive. And there is Lupe Sanchez getting set to receive the kickoff from the rookie out of the University of Washington, Jeff Jager. Sanchez last year, major surprise, led the AFC in kickoff return. It's a short kick. He's out to the 20. And fumbles. Lupe Sanchez coughed it up, but it is recovered by the Steelers. So the 12-yard return by the second-year man out of UCLA.
Lupe Sanchez has good speed, but he takes a good hit here by number 36 as he slipped. First, the ball came free, and Pittsburgh luckily recovered.
And Hardy Nickerson able to recover. So the Steelers first down from the 20-yard line. Mark Malone, who certainly heard it from the crowd back in Pittsburgh last week, although in a winning effort, hit only 9 of 33, but he goes to the ground for Ernest Jackson. Ernest Jackson ran for 103 yards against the San Francisco 49ers. Jackson and Abercrombie are the running backs. John Stallworth, Lewis Lips, who was a question mark because of the flu, is in the starting lineup. The tight end is Preston Gothard. Up front, they're anchored by the 14-year veteran Mike Webster. Pickup of 5, second down 5 from the 26-yard line. And again to the ground for Jackson, who will get much activity here today. Mike Johnson, the inside linebacker, on the stop. It is close to the first down marker. And up front, the Cleveland Browns doing some shuffling, had all kinds of difficulties on the left side. Sam Clancy not starting today. Instead, it is Reggie Camp back in the starting lineup. And Lucius Sanford, one-time Buffalo Bill, replacing Anthony Griggs, the starter last week. It's a 3rd down and 1 from the 30-yard line. White Stone surprising the Browns. And a flag toss. Hanford Dixon, the right corner, on the stop as Stone picks up the first down and some more, running at 23 yards. Stone, a rookie from Middle Tennessee State. Looks to be a face mask. The referee today is Gene Barth.
Personal foul, a 15-yard face mask penalty. 15 yards and a first down.
So it is a face mask as we get a look to be the quarterback, Hanford Dixon, who made the tackle.
Dwight Stone's the fastest running back the Pittsburgh Steelers have. I watched him in practice last week. Every play that he ran was to the outside. There's the penalty right there. He grabs his face mask because he's going out of bounds. I have to believe Cleveland's going to have to change their defense eventually to stop this Pittsburgh's running attack.
And it's a first down at the Cleveland 34-yard line. Abercrombie for a very short pickup. Walter Abercrombie in his 6th year out of Baylor, stopped by Reggie Camp. We may see some shuffling defensively by the Browns. Mike Junkin, the rookie from Duke, just not ready, was a holdout, reported late, and we'll probably see him later on freelancing out of what Schottenheimer says will be much use of the 4-6.
Yes, they didn't stop New Orleans' running game last week, and Pittsburgh loves to run the traps up the middle, so they'll change their things pretty soon.
Abercrombie picked up a yard, 2nd and 9 at the Cleveland 33. Jackson is hit for a loss. Cleveland Browns trying to show that they can stop the run.
Well, they just used 4 down linemen on this particular play. They brought in a new defensive lineman. Now, if you watch Golick versus Mike Webster right here, Golick gets the better of him to get back into the backfield, even though he didn't make the tackle. Mike Webster tells me that playing against Golick is like wrestling a grizzly bear.
And I know Bob took that very well when he heard Bob Golick did not have a tackle, did not have a good one last week against New Orleans. 3rd down 10 at the 34. Along throwing for the first time, throwing deep. Pass intended for Charles Lockett, the rookie from Long Beach State. And there's the cover man, Frank Minifield. And I have a feeling that Lockett heard a little barking and perhaps some taunts from Frank Minifield.
Right, well, here you see Lockett run a stop and go pattern. Pittsburgh thinks if they can get the defenders to stop on this wet surface, they'll have a hard time going again. And actually, he was open. It was just an overthrow.
And now in punt formation is Harry Newsom. The Pittsburgh Steelers not going for the field goal. Would be a long attempt for Gary Anderson. Instead, here's Newsom, who comes off an outstanding game last week, putting it in the corner. But it carries through. Steelers not able to get to it.
Right.
So Cleveland will go to the offense from the 20.
Stone made a rookie mistake. He should have caught the ball on the fly. He's allowed to do that.
Like many before, you came here asking for just one thing.
Sadowski. Shibowski.
A chance.
Pronounced Shibowski.
You're gonna make it here, 'cause you make America work, and this fight's for you.
Here's to you, Beechwood Age, for that clean, crisp taste
Hey, Sid.
that says Budweiser.
This Bud's for you.
Yeah, I know I need life insurance, but I hate spending money on something I hope I'll never use and won't be around to enjoy if it ever is used.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Allstate has life insurance that pays you for living. Allstate Universal Life. It protects your family if you die, and it can provide competitive earnings for your retirement.
So, my family's set if I'm gone, and I'm in the money if I stick around. I think I'll stick around.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
A member of the Sears Financial Network.
Listen to the heartbeat.
It's the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade. The advanced new Chevy with more cab room than Ford, plus a brand new extended cab.
Rough, tough working stuff. Feel the heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Take the test drive of the decade in the new full-size Chevy.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Coming from the left side of your screen on the bottom, you'll see number 20, Dwight Stone of Pittsburgh, get into position. Now, Dwight Stone can catch the football on the fly as long as he's not interfering with the Cleveland receiver. Instead, he lets it hit the ground and go in the end zone. That would have been bad field position for Cleveland had he caught the ball. I think that's just a rookie mistake.
As a result, the Browns to the offense for the first time. First down from the 20, Ernest Biner, Kevin Mack are the running backs. Bernie Kosar coming off a 28 for 39, 314 yards against the Saints. And it's the second back, Mack, stopped at the line. Check that, Biner, who was stopped at the line. Ernest Biner in his fourth year out of East Carolina. The receivers, Langhorne, Slaughter, and the tight end, Ozzie Newsome, a favorite target of Bernie Kosar. And up front, Mike Babb, the center, Farron and Fike at the guards, Rison and Bolden are the tackles. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Brian Brennan now has come on, flank to the left side. Penalty marker thrown. Kosar with the time overthrows the pass intended for Webster Slaughter. And as they sorted out, check of the 10-minute ticker. And not much doing at this point. Keith Willis, the left defensive end, was called on the offside. Keith Willis, in his 6th season out of Northeastern, led Pittsburgh with 12 sacks a year ago. Steelers getting good work from the linebackers last week, although they are banged up. Brian Hinkle with a sprained foot. Mike Merriweather, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, also took a couple of hard hits. 2nd down and 5. Play action for Kosar. Goes the middle and overthrows. Intended for the wide receiver, Reggie Langhorne. And a look at the Steelers defense. Willis, Dunn, and Nelson up front. And the linebackers with Cole and Little in the middle. Merriweather and Hinkle, outstanding outside linebackers. Delton Hall, the only rookie in the Steeler lineup, had a terrific game last week. Returned a fumble, 50 yards for touchdown, had an interception. It's a 3rd down and 5. The lone deep back now is Biner as they go slot left. Short setup and the completion to Slaughter for the first down across the 35-yard line. Webster Slaughter on an 11-yard pass play. Brian Hinkle made the stop.
Well, this is one Kosar is certainly glad to complete. His first 2 receivers were open. If you watch the left side of the screen, you'll see the receiver slant right across the middle here. Wide open. I know that's got to make Bernie feel good. As I said, he missed his first 2 passes attempts, and he had receivers in the open.
4.5 gone by. First quarter, no score. First down, 37-yard line. And he goes to the ground for Kevin Mack. Kevin Mack stopped by David Little, the inside linebacker. Mack had problems last year with his left shoulder. Still ran for 665 yards. Scored 10 touchdowns, as you see. Began to hit full stride in the final weeks of the season when he's healthy. One of the top power backs in the NFL. A couple of big guys combining with Biner and Mack 2 years ago. They each surpassed 1,000 yards. 2nd down 7. Cleveland at its 40-yard line. Kosar looking left and goes the short route as Mack. Mack with another. Browns first down, run out by Mike Merriweather.
Kozar did a good job coming off his first 2 receivers. You'll see he's looking right and down the center of the field trying to find a receiver. There are none open, so he comes over here to Mack, who's just in a foot race with Mike Merriweather, and he gets the first down. Good read by Bernie Kozar.
Keith Willis with the wraps around Kozar as Bernie completed to the sideline. There's Mike Merriweather in his 6th year out of the University of Pacific. Well, they're calling it a 3rd down and 2. That's where the ball was bumped out of bounds as Merriweather was able to make that stop. And here is Mack, and he is short of the first down. Edmund Nelson and Brian Hinkle combining to make the stop.
I don't think Cleveland's going to make a living running at the middle of this Pittsburgh defense today. Joe Green, their new defensive line coach, has taught the Steelers to play a little more aggressively in the middle. They did a great job against San Francisco last week. I think Cleveland's going to have to throw the ball more often and run wide to get anywhere with the Steeler defense.
And Jeff Gossett punting it out of bounds. Jeff Gossett had an odd game last week. Did not punt at all against New Orleans. And he's hearing it from the crowd. Timeout has been called. We'll be back in a moment.
I got it.
Great ideas don't always arrive between 9 and 5, so IBM is introducing...
The boss will love this.
...the smallest, lowest price Personal System 2.
Distribution, of course. Why didn't you think of that?
With the power and advanced graphics to help you take care of business...
That was inspired.
...anytime.
Uh-huh. Right. I'll sleep on it.
The newest member of the IBM Personal System 2 family at your IBM authorized dealer.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol, the only leading motor oil that in every grade provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
What's the longest lasting battery you can buy? I'm gonna surprise ya! New Energizer! Sound surpriser! New Energizer! It's off the test! New Energizer was best! Lasted longer than all the rest! Too right! New Energizer! New Energizer! It'll surprise ya! It'll surprise ya!
Laboratory tests prove in most devices, Energizer lasts longer than any other battery. New Energizer. Aye.
An American tradition continues when the Tigers face the Blue Jays or the Cardinals meet the Cubs. The memories are waiting next Saturday.
The Cleveland Stadium ground crew out to patch up the field. You will see this throughout the day. We mentioned the sloppy playing conditions. It did rain during the week, and there was a Pink Floyd concert on Wednesday and Thursday nights. I know Joe got into town early for that one. Caught them both. Unbelievable. Poor punt by Gossett, 28-yard punt. That prompted the reaction from the crowd. So the Steelers first down from their 27-yard line. Ernest Jackson had it jarred loose. And it was recovered, but a loss on the play. Carl Hairston able to make the stop.
Carl Hairston made the stop, but what Cleveland just did was put in another lineman, a big lineman on that side to help out Hairston. There you see number 60, Al Baker, coming in there also. So Cleveland's concerned with this Pittsburgh trapping game up the middle, and they've gone to the 4 big linemen already.
And Ernest Jackson has fit right into that trapping game out of the pages of Franco Harris and Rocky Bleier. That's the Steelers style. 2nd and 10. And Malone can't find anyone. He had the time, and then able to complete. Beautiful catch by Lewis. Lips tripped up by Frank Minifield. A 14-yard advance and a first down for the Steelers.
Well, the key to this play being successful is the offensive pass protection. The offensive line does a wonderful job of protecting Mark Malone, as you see. Louis Lips made a nice fake inside and slipped to the outside. Anytime a quarterback has that much time to shop around, he's going to find an open receiver. Here you see number 50, Lucius Sanford. Looks like he doesn't quite know where he's going to get in position.
Lucius in the starting lineup today because of the problems the Browns have had on the left side. First down at the 43-yard line. Frank Pollard is hit for the loss. Reggie Camp, number 96. Getting the congratulations from his teammates. Reggie Camp, who made it back last season from a foot injury, made it back with 7.5 sacks.
Here you'll see Reggie come from the right of your screen all the way across here, make a nice tackle. He pulled. You see, he was able to shoot through the gap of the pulling guards that time. That's why he got in the backfield. Reggie's quick getting off the ball.
A loss of 3. 2nd down and 13. Now Mike Junkin, the rookie from Duke, #1 draft pick, is in that linebacker set. No score halfway through this first quarter. Confusion by Malone, and he's hit down for the loss. Chris Rockins will get credit. What happened here?
Well, I wouldn't put the blame on Malone. It looked like number 34, Abercrombie, just didn't go the right way. See, he's waiting to get the ball to number 34, Abercrombie. He doesn't come across there, so Mark has to eat the ball. Again, Cleveland mixed up the defense that time, and they went to a form of the Chicago Bear 46 defense. They're giving Pittsburgh some different looks.
So it will be a 3rd down and 19 back at the 34-yard line. That is not credited as a sack, a loss of 6 on the play from Malone. Couldn't find anyone, now does, and it's deflected for the interception by Rockins. So the Browns take over. Chris Rockins on the interception, and Cleveland will get it at the 40-yard line. Pass intended for John Stallworth. 6:18 left in this scoreless first quarter.
When the clock strikes 6:30, babe, time to head for Golden Lights. It's a good time for the great taste dinner at McDonald's. It's Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
The advanced new Chevy half-ton is all new. Ford isn't. And the advantages stack up. Chevy gives you new 2-tier loading. Ford doesn't. More 2-sided galvanized steel. A bigger, heavier frame. And on top of it all, more standard power with Vortec V6. Want a load of new features? Test drive the first all-new full-size pickup introduced in this decade.
The heartbeat of America.
The advanced new full-size Chevy.
That's today's Chevy truck.
No better value? Right. You get the newest 386 technology in our Tandy 4000 at an incredible price.
386 technology?
Yes, it's faster, more powerful, and it runs today's MS-DOS and tomorrow's OS2 software.
What about desktop publishing?
It's easy. With our laser printer, the Tandy 4000 gives you professional results every time.
I see. Better value.
Tandy Computers, because there is no better value. Only at Radio Shack Computer Centers.
An unprecedented week-long journey through China begins Friday on NBC News.
Well, Joe, Mark Malone picked off for the first time this season. Despite the poor stats last week, he was not intercepted.
Mark's a smart passer. Here, Hanford Dixon makes this play. Watch him. He'll tip the ball. Number 29 tips it in the air. And that's what allowed Chris Rockins to make the interception. You have to give a lot of credit to Hanford Dixon for that one.
And the Cleveland Browns, for the first time this season, starting a drive beyond their own 20-yard line. Completely handcuffed last week by New Orleans. First down from their 40. Kevin Mack. Stopped by the inside linebacker, David Little.
Okay, I can see a misdirection play working today. The footing's not too good. They started the linebackers moving in one direction to the right, and then he cut back to the, or rather to the left, and he cut back to the right. That's a good play to use on a weather like this, misdirection type run.
And it's a 2nd down and 6 at the 36-yard line. No score, 5:45 left in this opening quarter. 86 Brennan in motion, 2nd back coming through Biner. Very short advance, David Little on the stop. And there there is Chris Rockins, who came up with the interception a moment ago. Last season in the first meeting against Pittsburgh, came up with a critical fumble recovery. A 3rd down and 3.
There's Hanford Dixon, number 29. He was the reason for that interception. He got his hand in there and tips the ball in the air.
And plays very aggressive bump and run. 3rd down 3 at the 33. As the Browns go slot right. And Kozar is walloped. And it was picked off. Mike Merriweather. And a most unusual play, caught the deflection off the lineman's back. Mike Merriweather, the AFC Defensive Player of the Week, coming up with another big play.
Big play by Merriweather, and you'll see Brian Hinkle very alertly catches the ball in midair. Bernie Kosar looks like he's just shopping around a bit too long, holding the ball a little bit too long. You'll see him get set back there. He has time to throw the ball now. Now he has time, and he just doesn't get it off. Brian Hinkle, Jack Lambert feels, is the best outside linebacker Pittsburgh's had since he's been there. Or since Andy Russell, actually.
And a 1st down at the 45-yard line. Here's Malone. Nice catch. John Stallworth on the reception inside the 35-yard line, an advance of 23. Al Gross, the free safety, on the tackle.
That's beautiful. I love that. Play action, freeze the line, freeze the linebackers. The linebackers can't get deep enough to break this play up. Gives the quarterback all day long to throw the ball in.